working to the point I throw up. And if you cross me, it was good to know ya. Yeah.
We are live. Welcome to the first stream of 2023, boys and girls, and we're going to make this one look. That's right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another 7:15 episode of Tackle Talk. This episode tonight brought to you by the boys over at StreamYard. Welcome to the show. We get some echo there, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm hearing something. You guys hearing something? I don't know. It sounds like there's an outside device, and now it's gone. Sweet. Awesome. That's good times. Sorry, guys, no testing. We got a special guest this evening, guys. The topic has come up. In case you guys don't know, I got a good buddy that I go fishing with all the time. And let me tell you, we went out this past weekend, and if everything in the world could go wrong, it did go wrong, boys and girls. I will tell you right now, the boat ramp was backed up an easy hour and a half. And then, of all people to get like in the way and block traffic in and out of this place and down the through road, it's Roland Martin. That's right. Roland Martin is clogging up everything. We end up with Chatty Cathy in the front. But before we get really, really crazy this evening, guys, without further ado, let's get in our guest this evening, the one, the only. We know him as OM Fishing, but that's right, it is Outlaw Morgan. Welcome, bud. What are you doing?
I am the world's best bass fisherman.
The best. In case you guys didn't know, Buddy is probably on a scale of 1 to 15. He's like a 35. Easy 35.
I'm playing 29th dimensional chess on these fools.
29th dimensional chess. For those of you that don't know, this is the third smartest man in the world sitting with us this evening. I am super stoked. Buddy, you want to tell these guys the amount of emotion that goes into a fishing trip? I really have been dying to get somebody on here and have a really in-depth conversation. And I know that over the last couple of years, I have found myself fishing with none other than you, of all people, to go fishing with. And just, again, hashtag making memories with this guy out here, man. But tell these guys a little bit from your perspective, what is it really like to just go fishing, bro? I just want to go fishing.
I mean, honestly, for the past few days, I've been thinking just that. All I want to do is fish, bro. Like, the world's crazy, people are crazy, the internet's crazy. I just want to fish. Like, and to be honest, I mean, I think a lot of people that do fish understand the emotions behind it. A lot of us, dude, like we live it. Right? Like it's not just a weekend warrior mentality or like I fish once a month mentality. Like, it's literally a life where basically we spend tons of money on stupid shit, like tons of baits, tons of rods, tons of reels, tons of string, tons of all kind of things. So I mean, it's you either have it like in you or you don't. You know what I mean? So like, yes, you're either into fishing and you live it or you don't. I mean, I guess there's an in between. I guess there's the guys that go out there and like, they fish every once in a while, got the Zebco, rod.
It's a 33, bud, but it's a spin cast. And this way I don't have to worry about catching wind knots. Those bait casters are difficult, bro. Okay. It's not the easiest thing to do. Last time I threw one, I bird nested and I just cut all the line off and I never re-spooled it. You know that guy.
Yeah. I mean, fishing to me is definitely an emotional thing, dude, because like, let's just be honest. Some of us lie in bed looking at satellite views of lakes before we go out the next day.
That's me.
Trying to figure out where we're going to go. Like, and as much as we may be competing with the person on the front of the boat or on the back of the boat, because we all have egos. You know what I mean? We all have like pride or whatever, and we all want to outdo each other, but mainly we want to outdo ourselves. And some of us have set goals, man. Like every time I hit the lake, I'll say it like this. There's been times that I've been driving to the lake and my attitude is just shining, dude. I'm like a pregnant chick. You know what I mean? Like if you saw me
North, the Peter North.
Yeah, dude. I am just everywhere. I'm like, man, today's my day. The sun is shining down on me. The bass gods have, today is it.
Oprah and Tom Cruise have given you this moment. Everything's lining up.
The green light. I felt the sword hit both shoulders. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. And then you get out there and the realism starts to set in. I mean, man, a lot of these lakes, some of these lakes that I fish, people really don't hit them. But some of the lakes that I fish, man, the pressure. And then some of the lakes, like Headwaters is a prime example, man. It used to be a kayak only, no gas motors, and now everybody's there. And it's like, dude, they're Okeechobee in this lake, and it's becoming tougher. And there's guys out there like me that I like to throw bigger baits, and then I have to face the fact that this is a time of year, plus with the pressure on the lake, I'm having to reinvent the wheel. I was just doing a video the other day where I was talking about slow fishing versus a lot of people consider swim baits speed fishing, but I really don't, because if the way I retrieve, like say a Gambler Big Easy or even a big swim bait, glide bait, whatever the case is, you retrieve those really slow. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're fast. You're faster on a crankbait than you are on like a glide bait or a big swim bait or something to that effect, or even a 5.25 Gambler Big Easy. The retrieve on those you're not burning that. You know what I mean? Like crankbaits, even square bills, like you're pulling those back faster. You know what I mean? So, but when I say slow fishing, dude, I'm talking about like the whole flip, pitch, punch. And to me, I guess because I'm kind of, I'm just not wired for it, man. Some people are. I'll do it, and I've had success doing it, but I would much rather throw swim baits than even jigging, for that matter. But I'll do all of it. Like, I have everything rigged up on the boat. You know what I mean? And then here's the thing, though. If all that doesn't work and you've cut things, tied things, and you're racing the clock. I mean, it's so funny to me, man, that people think you go out there and you fish all day. And as well as I do, is like, man, you get out there, the sun's coming up. And then when you're leaving, you've got about 20 minutes before sundown. By the time we make it out of those dirt roads, the sun is dark.
Yep.
And it's amazing how fast that time goes. Like, it's just like, it feels like you literally just get there, blink, and it's over. And, it can be very emotional. I've gotten better over time. Like, dude, there's been times where I've gone to places like, say, Lake Okeechobee, fished it, got skunked, couldn't believe it, and just was an emotional wreck. Went home and got drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not the time. Just so anybody watching, listen, there's going to come a point, if you pick up fishing, that you don't want to be a wife or a pet when I come home, just depending on how the day's been, because even the smallest little thing, I walk around on 12 all day, and the last thing that I need is to have like the worst fishing day of the year, because listen, if it's foggy on the ride in, I know better to fish on a foggy on the ride in morning, bro. I know that. And I say it every time, and every single time it occurs. I did so good. I got almost all the way down to your place the other day, right? And out of nowhere, I get, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes from the spot, and it just doesn't set in, bud. It totally made me want to turn around and take that 2 hours back, because it was going to be a lot easier than the torture that I was going to put myself through going to that lake. And then to see, when you called me talking about, yo, are you already here, or are you in that line? I was like, what line are you speaking?
Oh, bro, like I told you that they have tournaments out there on Headwaters from time to time, but it's not standard, right? Like, it's not. But here lately, that parking lot, bro, has just been inebriated with every truck and trailer. And I feel like a lot of these people.
You mean inundated? Inundated. Yeah. No, inundated. I mean, that's the perfect word for it, bud. Folks, when I tell you it's an hour and a half wait to get on the ramp, I'm not doing that for dramatic effect.
No, dude, listen, it's an hour to get off the dirt road into the parking lot.
Yep.
Okay. Like, bro, like when I first showed up and Beards was on his way, I called him. I said, are you on the dirt road yet? Are you already in the parking lot? And he's like, no, I'm getting ready to turn on the dirt road now. I was like, buddy, there is a line off this dirt road that is just insane. It's going to take us at least 45 minutes to even get to where we turn into the parking lot. But, so that right there, man, just tells you that these lakes are getting real pressured. And, you know, like that makes you have to switch up your game plan. Like, I mean, bro, if I had it my way, I would be throwing the Gantrel all day or something equivalent to the Gantrel, something big. And that's because my brain is wired to go for the big fish. You know what I mean? I'm willing to skip the dinks. I've been there and done that. I'm willing to skip that and go straight for the bigs, you know, and it's like, and I think what it is that I haven't caught double digits yet. And I'm following tons of people on Instagram and I'm watching these guys murder it. Well, that's what Instagram looks like, right?
Okay. And there's nothing on, listen, I've caught more bait in my life than I can tell you. And I'm half tempted to just put Dink Slayer out and just let it run, bud.
I
Just
think
let
you
it
should
run.
honestly, I think you should put Dink Slayer going down the side of your sled. You know what I mean? Like
That's exactly what I was thinking about doing.
Yeah, I think we
Hold
need
on 1 second. I gotta pause for a sip here.
Okay. I didn't know that required an
Ooh,
analogy.
oh man,
I'll tell you what,
sorry.
though, that is one sweet
That's
squad
why I
cup
said
out
it. You
there,
gotta
buddy.
give me that. You know, look at that. That is a good. Do me a favor. Go ahead and get sideways.
Oh, I'm
Wow.
telling you right now, there's something in the science. I don't know what it is. I'm not a
That's why I
scientist
asked you
myself,
not to.
but this cup right here tends to keep warm drinks warmer longer and cold drinks colder longer, which keeps me going when I'm on the boat. And if you want to fish like us, you need to get yourself one of these Heathen Squad cups. You won't regret it. Only at heathensquad.com.
That's right, boys and girls. heathensquad.com. In case you guys haven't figured it out yet, there's a little collaboration here with the Beards and the Buddy there, and I'm hoping to see this thing take off. I really think Buddy deserves it. It's a great bunch of gear designed all by this guy right here. It's if in case you don't know who it is, this guy is probably the biggest workhorse in between social media and internet, YouTube creation, internet creation and stuff, guys. This guy is dedicated to fishing on the OM Fishing channel. There's him in real, I would say it's an IRL channel. I mean, would you agree with that? It's
I'm
pretty
also
much an IRL
it's
channel.
an IRL channel, but I'm also an amateur professional at Call of Duty. I just want to put that out there. I mean,
Yeah,
dude,
I forgot about that. Yeah, you are an amateur professional, competing against 12 and 13-year-olds all over the world. Okay, screaming "murked biatch,"
I
and things like that.
I don't live stream my gameplay, but I'm telling you, the other night, man, I was killing it, dude. I was getting like 25 kills a game.
I saw that. I saw that, and
wrecking
I
people's
keep
day.
telling him.
Yeah,
I keep telling him, OM Gaming, just throw it out there, bud. You know what I'm saying? It's just another avenue when guys, when I say this is a content creator, I want you guys to understand. If you don't know who he is a content creator, 100%. There's no team. There's no buddy on the back. There's nothing like that. He's not sending it off to some dude on Fiverr to get him a $150 or $2,500 ad roll cut. He's doing the work. He's creating it all himself, as well as his ability to fish. Which, I mean, I must say, as far as the law of averages goes, if we were to sit down and count the numbers, I'm gonna say, and tell me if you agree with this or not, I'm gonna say that I'm probably 100 fish ahead, but at the same time 200 pounds behind. What do you think? Is that a pretty good assumption there? If we were to go pound
no. Listen. I actually totally agree with that. I do think you tend to catch more fish, but they're shit. If we're being honest about it, I mean, like, buddy, you struggle to even get a legal size fish, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it. I have to remind myself often when I'm on the boat and out on these lakes that I'm not in a tournament. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, buddy, calm down. Like,
Do you? Because I mean, we run at a pretty high pace. We run at a really high pace.
We as people, we run at a high pace anyway. You know what I mean? Like people that take
I don't know about that, but I've been watching like 2/3 of the country's running on sundial right now, and we're walking around on stopwatch. You feel me?
All I know is you fished with me enough to know. As soon as, buddy, it's like click, click, pop, pop, go, and it's like as soon as trolling motor up, no phones ever make our hands hard. Like, bro, I think I pick up my phone for the first time. Probably
Hour and a
about
half, 2
1:30.
hours in.
Nah,
Yeah.
man, for me, it's like 1:30 in the afternoon. Like, I've already gone
Oh.
all day without looking at it, and that's the beauty of fishing, bro, is the fact that bro, the internet is like, it's lost its nostalgia. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it was cool when I first started doing what I was doing. That was great. That was fine, and then you just hit a point of burnout. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, and then you start looking at this shit on a daily basis, and it's always it's Groundhog's Day. You know,
It
the
is.
news cycle, people on it, like everything, bro. It's just like it's getting. I can, maybe I'm just getting old and grumpy.
We are becoming the old men on the porch, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Get
Like,
off
I
my
hope you got
lawn.
a front seat. I hope you
Yeah.
got a front seat for that boat because you might. I mean, I know we
I
might
do.
end up needing
I
it.
do. Listen, I haven't had a slip disc in a long time, knock on wood, because at one point in my life, but when I was doing HVAC work, man, we were pulling a boiler out from under a house in North Carolina.
Ugh.
And dude, it was like 4 or 5 of us trying to haul this boiler, like this huge boiler. And I felt something pull and I could hear it snap in my lower back. And I didn't feel anything instantly. I heard it. I felt the shift and I was like, ooh, right. And I was young and I didn't. Anyway, man, that came back to haunt me. Like, buddy, I started having issues with my lower back. And um, I've had a disc kind of slip out a few times, and the first time is like 3 days, 2 days, or something like that. You walk hella crooked and funny, and it hurts. And then the last time though that it happened, I was literally on my back for like a month. You know what I mean? And the point where I was doing MRIs, and people wanted to cut me open. You know what I mean? Like, luckily, I never did it. Like, I right when I was going to see the neurologist, to set up the date to have surgery, it corrected itself. Like, it took like a month, and luckily it hasn't happened since. So there might come a point, listen, I've had the old man seat up front. I'll watch Roland Martin fish, and that dude's constantly chilling on his seat, and I'm like, if it's good enough for Roland, it's good enough for me. And then, but that midlife crisis point where you're like, I don't want to be the dude that's leaning on his seat out here when everybody else that like they look like they're aggressively fishing, right? Like, they don't have a seat on their boat, and I'm like, I'm gonna take mine off when the time comes. I'll put it back on there. Maybe I'll move the rear one up to the front so I have a backrest. Maybe I'll get me one of those hats where you put like the beers in them and the straw come down. Like,
Just and 2 crappie rod holders with like 6 apiece on each side, and just the trolling motor foot. That's all you need.
I'm buddy. Like you got rod holders, like you said, and you got one of those little electric fans with the mister in it. You know what I mean? Just like,
That's all you need, bud. That's all
life,
you
right?
need.
Listen, I'll mess around and put a microwave on my boat. You know what I'm saying?
We still have a skit we've got to do for you guys.
Oh,
We've been talking about it for years.
Listen. If it's what I think you're going to talk about, don't even talk about it.
Okay, we'll keep it a super secret.
Don't mention it, because trust me, I looked around in the garage today and I looked over where one of those things are, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna do it as Bobby Lee.
I've been telling you, man. You put the thong on, dude, and do the
No,
whole.
I'm not doing I don't own a thong. What are you talking about?
You know someone that does.
I'm not wearing a thong.
Oh, bro, but if you do the head turn back with like a thong on,
No, I'm not, bro. I ain't gonna sport maybe a Speedo, like, buddy.
That's what I mean. But hike it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you do that and do the head turn, it's over.
No, we ain't doing no butt hungry shit.
Them shorts are small enough that Bobby Lee wears, buddy. Let me tell you, them things work. I mean, if you guys haven't caught that, I'm telling you, on the content side, the Bobby Lee stuff is absolute fire. All the characters. No, I'm just messing.
It's so funny. It's so funny I say that, but then I think about that one video of me and Biggs where like I was wearing the apron with no.
Yes.
Ass out on the apron. You know what I mean? Like, how do you like your eggs? And he's like, I like my eggs scrambled. And I was like, scrambled eggs coming up.
Oh, buddy. See, and that's that hashtag making memory stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? That is the hashtag making memory stuff right there.
Yeah.
We've had some camping trips, man. Guys, I'll tell you what. Last time we did a fish camp fish out on Kenansville. For those of you who don't know about that, we did a fish camp fish out on Kenansville, and I'll tell you, of all the times to film after the day we had, I'm going to tell you, there was no reason to even film. The first time we went, fire. This guy absolutely crushed us. He destroyed me. He was like, yeah, 7-pounder. I'm sorry, 6.78. Not quite 7, but we'll go ahead and call it a 7-pounder. And that was the time that we
Oh,
had
wait.
the
No.
strike.
That fish was
6.78 or something like that, because you just got the new commander scale.
it was just a hair under 7, I
Yeah,
think.
it's like 6.78, and you're like, yeah, it's 6.7 ounces.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, bud, that's like 6.10, 6.12 ounces, bro. That's like way
buddy,
bigger.
and listen, there's no worse feeling. See, here's the thing, right? When I fish with Beards, and Beards is killing it on the back of my boat with his little special bait, and I'm watching him pull
It's
up all the,
inclusive. I
yeah,
like to call it inclusive.
super
It's now going to
inclusive.
be called the super inclusive bait, because
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
matter what you are. If you got scales, it'll get you.
yeah, crappie. I mean, bass, whatever.
Crappie,
Dude,
dude.
I've seen that thing hook fish. You can barely put your thumb into to get the hook out of it. Anyway, like I'm telling you, Dink Slayer. Like I can see
That's my dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on the tournament scene and catch 74 fish and empty bag my way in.
in an
You're gonna be
empty
like,
bag.
what?
Yeah, come back with an empty bag. Like, what happened? Be like,
Yeah.
there's not a legal one in the bag. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, right? So, like, I constantly watch Buddy hook up small fish, and I'm not gonna lie, when I'm out there struggling, I mean, dude, I'm saying a lot of harsh things about him under my breath.
I hear them, folks.
But
Just so we're clear, I feel
here's
them
the thing.
emotionally. It's thick.
Here's the thing, Beards. Even though you've hooked up, say we're at lunchtime, and yeah, you've got some numbers, and like the fish are like tiny, and I'm just like pissed because you're hooking up. It's not like you turn around and catch a gang of like ouncers and then turn around and hook up a 9-pounder. If you did that, I'm taking you to the ramp. I'm like,
He's
"You're out,
already
bro."
told me, guys. He's like, if it occurs, shake it off, dude. I'm not kidding. It'll be the shortest fishing trip you ever went on. You're my buddy and all, but I'm gonna tell you, don't worry about getting the truck. I'm gonna circle right back out on the lake, but you and all your shit's gonna be sitting right there on the bank. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, dude.
I mean, I can't lie, bro. Like, even though we might cheer for each other, I'm like, hell yeah, bro, that's tight. You know what I mean? There comes
Only
a point
live bait fishing is when we cheer. Other than that, it's you can get your own effing net. How about that, bud?
I told Buddy, since he's on the back of my boat, I'm gonna have a shirt made where it says "Get your own net" on the back of it. So when he's like, "Buddy, it's a 9. I need you to get the net," I'll just be pointing.
It's so bad, you guys.
Like, get your own net. Like, listen, I can't lie, bro. Listen, I can be a straight hater. You know what I mean? And I can clap and cheer for you too, but that's only if I'm doing good. Like if we're doing good together, everybody's happy. But
yeah, see, guys, this is the thing, guys, and I want to tell you guys this real quick. You've got to understand that the goal. Okay, so here's how I mentally start a fishing trip. Okay, so the goal is for me mentally on a fishing trip. We talked about this today. This is how we have conversations. I'm like, bud, I got to get that first one out of my system. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got to have a fluffer fish. For those of you that know about that, you know what I'm saying? I got to work the first one out. We got to make this happen. So I usually slay me a dink like early, like third or fourth cast is my goal, right? And right off the bat, there's a wave that like as I'm setting my hook, right? As I'm setting my hook, there's a wave of hate that it warms everything up behind me.
Like a blanket.
Feel it
like a blanket. It just
it is. It comforts me though, because I know that my butt pulling for me on the other side of the boat, and all I have to do is ring out. Got it.
But listen, I don't screw you though. Like
When have
I ever got up on the trolling motor and put you in a position where you were screwed?
Not once. No, he's never back in the boat. He's never back in the boat. He did one time when he called me a pirate. We all watched that video.
You're a pirate.
Called me a pirate.
Listen, you can deny that. You can deny that to the grave. You know, in your heart of hearts, you pirated me that day. Play the video back, and I'm telling you right now, anybody would be like,
"Yeah, we can do it live."
Like, yeah, let's hit the instant replay on that. Like, let's see. I just casted there, hooked up like a 5-pounder. He got off, and Buddy was zip. He was right on it, like cleanup crew. He was going for it. You know what I mean? And Buddy, listen, I don't say pirate lightly. And listen,
no, it was pretty loud.
Listen, it's funny because I'm used to fishing with pirates. I mean, dude, Ryan will do it. Dan would do it. Like, it's just the way we're dirty like that, dude. It's
Jay
like,
the neighbor pirate you too, huh?
yeah. While you're reeling in, we're like, oh, did you miss it? And we're casting
Double up,
right on.
double up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw something different. Let's see if he wants this. Whoa, look at that. Got it. But here's the thing though. There are days where that's inappropriate, especially when it's struggle city and like one single tear gets produced dude, this shit, like, there's moments where that's almost fight worthy, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
almost,
it's emotional,
like,
man.
yeah, it
It's
gets emotional.
It is emotional. That's what, guys, this year I really hope to have a bunch more of these, hangouts with my friends and stuff and some of my fishing buddies. But for the first episode of the year, we missed last week, I had to make sure I got probably one of the most, I would say, as a collectively talented fisherman that I know. He brings everything to the table every single time. He pours his heart and soul out on every fishing trip,
And that's why I would stab you. I mean, because I go
physically. If there's a 10-pounder in the boat, yeah, no, I've already thought about it. I was like, man, I'd hate to have to put Buddy down,
That's why I would shank you. That's why I would shank you if you pirate me on the back. Listen, because he just told you, he just gave you all the details. Yeah, Buddy goes hard. Buddy lives for it. Buddy's like, his heart's in it. Like, it's no joke. And then you pirate me and I just start stabbing you. Just boom, 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 boom. And it's nothing personal. You know what I mean? But like, and it's funny because I looked over and I saw that Rod Slug said that you catch a ban on my boat. Actually, Beers caught a 30-day ban for that maneuver. True story.
I did catch a 30-day ban for a rattle trap 6.5, dude.
Buddy, that's when dudes get back to the ramp and Buddy's like, all right then, man, I'm gonna give you a ring, and like his truck takes off. I'm like, but nah, well, I'm gonna have to put you on pause for a hot second. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna,
dude. The best. It's probably one of my favorite things, and it's not funny. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to do it. I don't try to do it, man. But when it does happen, and see, the worst part about it is like, it's not always me, guys. What you don't understand is, let's get back to the story originally. I have to get the slaying has to occur early. If I want to keep him mentally off his fishing game, I have to bring it early. I'm that annoying ass wasp that just decided, you're the one, and he's following you around the yard. You know what I'm saying? And that's me, because I know truthfully in my heart of hearts that once Buddy hits his pattern, once he figures out which bait it is, which retrieve style,
the 6-pounder.
And that's not it. The worst part about it is, it's like, it just compiles. And then I watched this guy that was emotionally distraught. Just all of a sudden, he's like, man, I'll tell you, bud, you better switch it up on your baits there, because I seem to have found it. And I'm like, you always find it. I don't know why you get so upset sometimes. And he doesn't get upset.
Bro,
there's just a lot of emotion. There's a lot going on.
There seems to be, when it comes to me and fishing, right, there seems to be this thing, man, where it's like I struggle for hours straight and then everything just turns on. Like, it's happened so many times, dude, where I hit the lake and, like I said, I'm geeked up. I don't mind driving an hour and 45 minutes. I don't mind blowing this, $100 and some in the Build Back Better economy, and where eggs are like $10 and bacon's like $20. I don't mind just like going broke doing it. You know what I mean?
Two-stroke oil putting you in the taking out of your kid's college fund at this point. I bought a 5-gallon the other day and I had to take a double take. I'm like, is this in the wrong rack?
Yeah, no, it's like $30 or some shit.
Yeah,
and then you got to get the ethanol remover too, and like that's not cheap. So like, and then listen, man, you got to get smokes, you got to get some beef jerky, some drinks, whatever, ice, and then it all adds up.
Speaking of, okay, hold on, before we go any further, what you guys don't understand is that I get up early in the morning, okay, and I make myself these special sandwich wraps that I can have for my trip. And I have the privilege of taking Buddy's half Publix loaf ham and cheese sandwich out of tinfoil wrapped parchment paper. It's like, it's so I'm so jealous of his. Oh, and then almonds and cashews, and usually some type of a quick energy pick me up granola bar. Yeah, no, he's like all like his lunch is is what you
Legit.
would send your child to school with, and you want him to be successful. I get so jealous of his lunch. He's like, "Hey, you mind showing me how to sandwich?"
I've got a down ass chick, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro,
what
his
can I say?
guys, just so you know, Buddy's sandwiches are fire. And then the best part about it is he sits up there and eats it, and then he's like, oh, bread, commoner. And he just tosses bread out in the water, and we laugh. That's like one of our biggest jokes with the bread. Tell him why you throw the bread. It's just,
I'm just trying to chum the water. It's
that's
just,
what he does. It
you
gets the
gotta-
bait moving around because they start drawing to it, and Buddy will sit right there for a minute and start flipping. Like,
yeah.
it's gonna happen one day. It's gonna be funny.
But man, 9 times out of 10, I don't even see bait approach that shit. You know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, no, I got a good woman, man. You know what I mean? Like, can't complain there.
You guys got to understand, it's pretty funny. There's a lot that goes, there's so much of a fishing trip, you guys. And it's really funny. We talk about this all the time is there's two guys that are trying to create content on the same boat, right? And we're both doing the same adventure, but in a different filming and shooting fashion. So Buddy dreads hearing the GoPro beep so bad that I've actually turned the beeper off.
Wait, I don't dread it. It's just confusing because we both use GoPros. So when I hear something go beep 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 beep, I'm like, bro. First of all, like GoPros overheat. GoPros will just out of the blue decide that they're on strike. They ain't feeling it, man. They ain't trying to work today. You know what I mean? And so when I hear that, like I can't tell you how many times I've just been fishing and I got the GoPros on loop. And out of nowhere, beep, 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 shut down. And I'm like, wait, what? So, and then you got to do a master. Sometimes you got to pull the back. So it's confusing when I constantly hear beep, beep, beep. And I'm just like, is that you or me? I'm just trying to clarify. Like, is your camera? Did you, are you turning it off or whatever the case is? And honestly, man, like the past 5 fishing trips I've done, I haven't even hit record, dude. You know what I mean? Like the last time we went out, I did, but it was such a shit day. I was just like, and it wasn't like I was really trying to produce content. I was just recording me fishing. You know what I mean? But like,
fun part about it, we're just trying to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, bro, the last few trips, I took the cameras. Man, there's been a couple times where I never even turned them on. And I just focused on fishing, dude. You know what I mean? Like just focus, just being in the moment.
Well,
not worried about it.
It seems to be those days that I'm not on the back of the boat where you find
yeah, dude. Listen, when you're not there, bro, I'm always on fire. Always. There's something about you that just when the Dink Slayer, when the Dink Slayer's presence is on the rear end of my bass boat, everything. Like I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. But like I was saying though, there's a pattern with me, period, where it's like, dude, I usually end up fishing for like 3 hours before I turn on. Like I don't know why that is. One of the things that scares me the most is when I go fishing and within the first, say 2 to 3 casts, I hook up.
Yeah. See, I'm a firm believer in the first cast first myself, bro. I really am, because then you're done. What do you expect from there on out?
Nothing. Dude, I tell you, listen, man. The last time I was fishing by myself, in the first 3 casts, boom, on, and it was just a little guy. It was like 2-pounder or something. And I was just, well, I mean, listen, dude, up your fucking bait game, bro. So like, I hook up a 2-pounder and I'm like, oh, sweet. And but in my mind, and I'm sure you would agree, is like you're instantly thinking to yourself, you're like, fire. This is gonna be a fire day.
Oh yeah, no, everything's gonna be different. It's gonna be the best day I've ever had, bro. Watch this.
Every cast. Well, at least every other cast. Watch.
I'm retying that one because I know the next one's probably gonna be a state record, and it's better that I go ahead and just have that fresh knot on there. That's the day I think I'm sharpening my hook. I know what I'm doing. It's everybody else that needs to figure it out.
That's right. I am the best at what
I do. I woke up this morning like Peter North, bro. Everything was perfect. I actually, when I walked outside, the street light that ain't worked in months turned right on so I could see my way to the car. I was like, look at this, man. Oprah Winfrey and Tom Cruise. I had The Secret playing in the car for the 3-minute ride down to the tree. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I am the Ricky Bobby. That's true.
That's it.
But yeah, so I mean, dude, fishing is definitely an emotional thing, man. And you know what's funny is you can learn a lot about yourself by fishing. you can start to actually like psychoanalyze yourself, right? Like you have these moments when you're out there and you know in your mind, you're like, dude, retie something. And I'll be honest, I am so stubborn that when I set up like 6 rods, 7 rods or whatever, and I'm like, that's what I'm throwing for the day, and like it's so weird for I have to force myself.
Yes.
I have to force myself to come off the trolling motor, sit down, cut something loose, tie something on, because I don't want to be bothered with that. Like I'm just constantly like my brain is just like flick it, flick it, flick it, flick it, flick it, like working the clock.
Well, as we talk about all the time, you can't catch a fish without a line in the water. I mean, and that's like I say it all the time. So when guys like you are, and guys like me get together on a boat, I mean, if we could do a cast count, it's absurd. And we talk about it all the time. We talk about
Buddy,
it.
hey, listen, actually, you've seen it. Like when, like, I think after cast number 7,900,
the cripple hand, dude, the cripple hand,
my hand this muscle locked up and pulled my hand in like this. And like, dude, it was like that for a second. And I was just like, I didn't flip out. I wasn't like, it was like, arthritis or anything.
He just looked at me and was like, buddy, look at my hand. And I'm like, I see it, man. It doesn't look like things are going too good for you right now, buddy. You know what I'm saying? It looks like you're in a lot of pain. He's like, I guess I should put it down for a minute. I'm thinking you should put it down for about an hour right now.
I cast that thing and I was like, I felt something. I took my hand off the rod and that thing, and it locked up just like that for a second. Like, dude, it was super tight. Like the fingers were trying to touch my arm. I was just like,
it was weird, dude. His forearm was all like it was spasming, and he's just looking at me, and he's like, I guess I should put the rod down. And I'm thinking, yeah, you might want to just give yourself a minute.
Listen, bro, like when I'm throwing the big baits on the extra heavy rod, dude, I will cast until like I feel tendonitis.
My shoulder, bro. I can only cast it in the 40, 50 times, man. I'm not kidding, man. Slinging out 2.5 ounces. And you know me, bud. I'm Captain Longcast. Everything to me is ascendant. If the further I can get from the boat, the better. And when you give me 2.5, 2 3/4 ounces on 85-pound braid, buddy, I'm slinging that thing. I'm running what, a 7.8 1X heavy. Yeah. And I'm tossing out a 2.5. I mean, you guys, you got to start doing this, the math on this. The majority of the time you fish, you're talking quarters and half ounces. We're talking multiple ounces. Mm-hmm. We're talking take your standard fishing rod and beef it up by 5, because that's how many levels from your standard fishing rod you are when you go up to like a 7.8 1X heavy or an 8-foot 2X heavy. These are massive changes in the dynamics of the cast itself. And it is physically, and I say physically, it is physically exhausting to go out there and sling that all day. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, but I mean, I would rather do that than,
big bait, big reward.
Yeah, I would rather do that than like dig ditches all day or what. Like, I'd rather do that than like do the honeydew list. I don't mind stripping out my bicep, getting all gnarly on this one arm right here, this one arm only.
That's the way it feels.
Or I don't mind getting the gimp hand after my 8,000 casts. I don't mind it. It's like, dude, like it's this weird thing, man, where it's like it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like is when they say the tug is the drug, like, buddy, I've done LSD. I mean, I don't know if I should talk about this.
We've all experimented in our younger days.
I've done a whole lot of things, and I can tell you this, that the best escape I've ever found in life thus far is being in the middle of nothing. You know what I mean? On a boat, chasing these little green goblins around, trying to figure out what works. It's like, it's some people probably have done it in life. It's like, it's not for me, bud. I like to go bowling, or I like to build model cars, or I like to build cars, or I like to like ride motorcycles, or like everybody has their own thing. But like I've connected to it in this dynamic, this really unexplainable. You know what I mean? Like it's really unexplainable. Like the same way that, say, someone who's on the pipe, would
Yeah. I'm drawn to it. I itch. I was going to tell you that ever since I was young, in high school, I've always had a thing for big girls pulling on it. So that's
yeah,
been my fishing thing since the beginning. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? It's just that's how I've been hooked ever since. And I say it all the time, like, "God, I just wish someone would pull on this thing," because to experience some of the fish, for some of you guys are 10-pound plus guys out there listening. That's dude. I'm aspiring to that. But
Yeah.
I have been throwing baits at 8s for many years now, and if 10's more fun, woo boy,
Oh,
that's
bro.
really what keeps
Were
me
you, were
going.
you were you on the live stream I was doing the other night where I was showing people that 14 pounder that kid caught?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Again,
not only did he catch one, he
yeah, he did
caught
it again.
two. He caught
Yeah, I
two,
know.
bro.
I said the same thing.
And
I was
listen,
like,
I looked at the picture and I was like, wait a minute, is this guy holding the same fish, different angles, right? Patterns going
no,
down the side of that fish, like the spots were different. Like one was more green, like
we're
one had way
photoshopped.
more green on it, and one had some like spots, like almost like a. And I was just like, dude, and you know what's funny, man? That's Texas for you, bro. Like people, I know people in Texas that are like catching 12s and 13s
On a
on
regular
almost a
day.
damn regular basis. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
on a
bro, and here's
regular
the thing,
day.
like, the funny thing is that Florida, a lot of people have caught 10s, 12s.
12s,
I've
yep.
heard of 14s even down here. At least in the lakes that we're fishing down here, right? And so I don't know about any lakes up north or northwest or nothing like that. And it's like I don't know what I want to blame the FWC for spraying. I want to blame people like I want to blame tournament fishermen too. And listen, I've done tournaments, man, but like putting these things in the live well and then taking them back to ramps and like throwing them out there and like there's all these things that I want to blame, but it's like it seems like it's become scarce now. You know what I mean? Like to where Texas, these guys are like, look, another 13 pounder, and everybody's like, oh my god, how do you keep doing it? And then it's like, wait a minute, here's a 15. You know what I
And
mean?
then
Like,
meanwhile, I'm like, I know better than to fish on a cloudy on the ride-in day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm worried about is hooking up today, and you've got these guys that are, again, like we talked about earlier. If you go on Instagram, bro, there ain't nothing but big fish out there. So for
yeah.
any of you guys that are taking up fishing, Instagram's as real as it gets, just so you know.
But it's not going to be
every
real for
cast.
you. It's not going to be
Yeah.
real for you. And listen, and the truth is, man, a lot of these guys, a lot of the guys that I follow, right? They constantly throw big swim baits, big baits, whatever. What you don't see, right, on their pages or on their profiles, what you don't see is the fact that they fished all day and probably got skunked.
8-hour struggles 3 days of the week, but there was that one moment.
Yeah, and then like so like a lot of these guys, man. I won't name names or anything, but like a lot of these guys, somehow, some way, these guys are on the lake. There's one guy I know for sure, because he does guiding stuff too, right? And like this dude literally fishes every day. And the thing is like he might not catch a fish Tuesday at all. And,
Yeah,
and,
or
and because,
Wednesday.
and because his mind frame is dedicated to throwing nothing but big baits, like bigger than the shit that I'm throwing, dude. I might be throwing 6-inch swim baits, 7-inch swim, and like these guys are throwing like 8 to 10-inch baits, bro. You know what I mean? And but they're dedicated to the point that they're willing to not catch a fish at all
Day.
on a Tuesday. Because on a Wednesday, he's going to be right back there and he's going to be trying it again. And maybe Wednesday, he's going to hook a 9-10 pounder. And then he's going to put that on Instagram. And nobody actually sees that, like the actual, I want to say work, right? Like the sacrifice, right? Because these guys are fishing these baits to the point where there is no
struggle.
There's no alternative. They're not picking up the 2.8. They're not picking up a 5.25 even. Like these guys are throwing 8-inch, 10-inch swim baits all day long, willing to not hook up in order to, because consistency is key, right? So if you throw this same 9-inch bait enough, it's going to get bit.
I'm so glad you said that because I actually brought this one out. This is a 10-inch right here, buddy. I do have big baits. I
What
know
is
you're
that?
gonna. That
Who's
is
the
a
manufacturer?
10-inch Z-Man swim bait, buddy.
Yeah, they got that. I saw that at Dick's Sporting Goods last time I was in there. Yeah,
A lot of
I was
action.
gonna tell you about that. What size hook do you put with that? What do you match
This
that
is a 7 to a 9.
I'd
7/0 to 9/0.
I'd go with a 9.
That's why I haven't thrown it. We talked about this last weekend when you were doing the swim bait thing that you MacGyvered that day. That was fantastic. But yeah, no, I don't have anything that big. And you're talking about for something with a neutral buoyancy with this much big material, this is a big fleshy colored bad boy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I got to throw 3/4 of an ounce.
You look. Hold it up for me, right quick. Let me see that. Are you supposed to use a swim bait hook, like a screw?
Yeah,
nose
it's
hook?
gapped in the middle.
Okay.
And it's gapped
yeah,
on the back.
That material looks super soft though, so if they smash
Oh
it,
God, yeah, no, it jiggles on its own, man.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
just
best
like
part
grab
about it is this is
grab
Elastec.
grab
So
the
here's
bottom and like push up on it like right quick. Yeah, it's just gonna collapse. It's like
oh yeah,
Jello.
this thing's falling. The whole center is a hollow channel, bud. The whole center of this thing. There's only about that much meat in the center that you can actually hook into. So yeah, you know how these things are. That you could stretch this. There's no pulling the tail off this thing. The problem that I think I would end up having with this is the same thing you experience when you do the lose the tail on the burners. Is the same problem. With something like throwing like this, you're gonna get hit by those smaller fish, and you will end up missing strikes. You will end up, putting yourself
But
in a
that's
position.
that's that elastic material, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. So
Yeah,
it's not really
you
gonna
ain't gotta worry
matter.
about that. You're not ever losing the tail on that thing, dude.
No, but you're gonna get pulled on, and you're gonna think you're getting rocked by big fish when in reality, man, you're not.
Right.
But yeah, I know. I've just got to make another order, man. I've had some gear on carts, but again, update for everybody out there hanging out that was wondering. I got the trolling motor for the Blue Pearl today, boys. Stuck that up in the community tab for all you guys to check that out. I'm pretty excited. Got a couple more parts that got to come in for it, but we're looking like we're going to have everything hooked up for the tournament in February. Super stoked about that one. Buddy, you're thinking about running back on the scene again, maybe trying out your luck once more.
Yeah, I mean, I've done tournaments in the past. I mean, not many, right? Because I mean, anybody who's been following me probably knows this. But if you guys are like if you don't know who I am, I mean, that's I haven't been fishing super long, dude. It's only been like a couple of years.
And you already ventured out like hard out of the gate. See, guys, this is why I wanted to have this conversation. This will give you the level of intensity that a sport like this really puts you into. If you love it, it encompasses you. It engulfs you. It is overwhelming. You're starting to decide whether you want to go to your child's first birthday or you want to make that Saturday fishing trip, and you tell your wife, what were you thinking having a kid on a Saturday? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, listen, do you really want to save up for your kids' college?
They don't need it nowadays.
Listen, man, I need it more than they do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get that newer boat. You know what I mean?
Oh, I got a trolling motor.
I need power poles and shit, bruh. But yeah, so I've only been fishing for a few.
Has anybody ever told you about coins?
Oh my God.
They'll change your life.
I'm not even going to talk. No, I'm not having that conversation. But when I first started fishing, dude, like, I think within like the 6. All right, here let me just I'll give the brief version of the story. I deal with like a lot of people. I deal with like depression, like not bipolar, but like sometimes I get sucked into a dark hole in my mind, and it's a hard place to get out of sometimes. And my buddy saw that I was going through a depression, and he was like, "Go to Walmart, buy a fishing rod, blah blah blah." And I was like, "All right." So then he started taking me bank fishing, and dude, like fishing saved me in this weird way. Like I was in this deep dark, and getting outside and actually living life and bank fishing or whatever. Anyway, I realized I liked it so much that I bought a boat. Nothing new, nothing fancy, an old boat, you know what I mean? And
not just any old boat, guys. He makes this out like his sled is like the Blue Pearl, and in reality, he's got flush mount deck lids. He's got a 6-inch jack plate. He's got trim tabs. His 150's throwing a hot foot and aerator front and rear. And
no, not on the front. It's just on the rear.
Sorry,
I have a
only the rear.
recycler on the front. I have a recycler.
A 24-volt, 80-pound Minn Kota Terra Nova. So
okay,
I mean,
so it's a 1990 Ranger. You know what I mean? I don't like there's no gel coat, dog. You can scrape the
Oh,
metal.
because paint makes you catch fish better.
Listen,
You know what I'm
I'm thinking
saying?
about rattle can painting this bitch. I ain't even lying, dude. I started watching videos the other day, and I was like, man, I could hit it with like a black metal flake or whatever. And then like I've got a paint gun and everything. Like when I was doing woodworking, so I buy this boat. That's how much I loved it. And then I was like, man, let me try my luck with a tournament. I'd only been fishing for like 6 months at this point. I came in 8th place. Out of like 60 boats, dude. I came in 8th place out of 60 boats. I came in 2nd place, biggest fish of the day. By
I know that
dude,
feeling.
by 0.0, like we're talking ounces. Like I literally lost. I came in, I lost it by ounces, bro. My fish was 7 pounds, and this was on Okeechobee. And then I got humbled after that. I did another tournament. Was that on Okeechobee or was that somewhere else? And I didn't
You were
play.
fishing a lot of Okeechobee back then. You were
Dude,
fishing a lot of
listen, for the
Okeechobee
record,
back
I'm seeing people on Facebook, bro, say that Okeechobee's catching fire again. I'm seeing like I keep seeing it, and I keep seeing it from different people, and I'm like, I haven't fished Okeechobee, man, in like 2 years because Okeechobee was burning me. Like, bro, I've had fire days. You've seen the photos, like the hero pictures,
I've
right?
been
Like
there.
four
I've been there,
four
man.
beasts, right? Like four.
I've seen it. It's happened to me before.
Yeah, and then the FWC, of course, came in with their military grade helicopters spraying the place.
Listen, if there's one thing, guys, in case you don't know, for those of you that don't understand, when we talk about this is a military, this is what are they, I don't even want to call this an exercise. This is a mission of military precision. Okay. When these guys say they're going to spray, oh, they're not playing. They are dumping tens of hundreds of thousands of times more of the chemical that they need to kill that grass because they're not coming back. We spotted some green grass the other day, and Buddy looked at me. I said, man, we might want to get out of here, bro, because I'm hearing choppers. Like I'm waiting for an A-10 with dusters to come in. Because I mean, guys, they come in, helicopters.
Oh, they don't play.
That's all I'm going to say. It's not just airboats. Helicopters come in and spray this stuff.
It's such a weird predicament, man.
It's nuts.
You know, because it's almost like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because I don't know. Like I know I have fished Kissimmee where I have seen them out there with like looks like backhoes, but they like
dredgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, they have like almost looks like some type of plowing kind of thing on the front, and it's literally like collecting it, like it turns over. And
it's a spool on the front, picks it up, puts it in a big trap with a conveyor belt that moves it to the back and packs it up. It's like a barge, and then it rolls out. Yeah, no, I know exactly that. They're trying to pull that up from the bottom.
You're literally weeding. You're weeding the lake with that thing.
Yep.
But it's like, bro, the thing is I've fished. I swear I still don't want to say the name of that lake. I fished this one lake, the smaller lake with the long road, and I have fished that lake before.
Let me preface it that the road that's impossible to pass, so don't try it because you'll know you're getting close by the number of trailers and boats you see sitting off to the side that have snapped axles trying to get there. So
I won't go that far, but I have passed an axle on that road.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, dude. I never been there,
buddy. One of the fishing trips ended up costing Ryan like $1,700 because he had to have his axle redone. Like he's got a 2-axle. And yeah, that road will, like, if you don't know that road, man, or like if you're not watching what you're doing, like, you can snap it, bro, for real.
Old small water charters. John says he just gets up on plane. He's got that old Chevy, and that thing just once it gets to a certain rhythm of bouncing, he keeps that bad boy going, dude. He said, he was telling me a couple of weeks ago. Listen, I tell you a funny story. He tells me a couple of weeks ago, he says, yeah, so I'm riding out to Donkeyland, and Lindia says, John, there's something wrong with the boat. And I said, what? And I looked back. He said, the whole boat was like canted off. Come to find out, he snapped a leaf spring clean in half while he was on plane going down there. I said, would you turn around and go back? He said, no, we went fishing.
I'm going to tell you right now, one of the things that pisses me off going down these dirt roads, especially something like Headwater, where a lot of people, you have a real good chance of getting behind people on Headwater, right?
Yep.
One of the things that really effing irks me is that like people going down that dirt road trying to do 25 miles an hour. I'm like, it's not
You can't.
rocket.
It'll physically
It,
beat you to death.
yeah, it's not rocket. It's
physically
not
beat you.
rocket scientist, man. Like scientist stuff, man. Like John's right. Like buddy, hit it at 65. You won't
Just
feel
roll with it, dude.
You won't feel a thing. Get your shit up. You might sway. Now, if you start swaying, you just gonna slow it down. You know what I mean?
Ease up on it. Don't hit the brakes though.
Oh my god,
your
man!
trailer's gonna pass.
These guys, man, these guys go down these dirt roads, and it's like the whole way, like that's the bump, right? Because it's like tractor trailers go like truck,
18-wheelers.
not 18-wheelers, like dude, the shit with like the military grade tank wheels, almost like the
the graders,
like the tractors or whatever, like, and they leave those imprints, and like, so if you go slow, it's like and your trailer's just going nuts. You can hear bolts flying out of things, you know what I'm saying?
That machine, when it's going, is going that's why it looks like that, man, because that machine is just poking a little etch. That's why it's called a grade road.
The answer is hit 50, 55 miles an hour, and you're just gliding on top of those things. You're just like, dude, I'm telling you, like people laugh. Like my buddy's like, that's crazy. I'm like, no, trust me, dude. Like, the Google Maps is taking me some weird places going fishing, dude. Like when I first started going to some lakes that I didn't fish, and you want to hear a funny story right quick? I'll make it brief. I was going to the same lake we were talking about where people end up losing axles. And it was one of the first time. I haven't been there many times, and Ryan was already there, or Ryan was going to meet me at the ramp. And I'm coming from South Florida going north to this area, and Google tells me to route this one way or whatever.
Best story ever.
Yeah, so I'm routing this way, and I'm like, dude, I didn't know. I was like, maybe this is so anyway. So I'm listening to Google Maps, and I end up going down this road that gets real narrow, but it's still paved, and I hit the end of it, and there's a sign, and it's a farm, and there's people at this, like, entrance of this farm standing at this little like white house, kind of like, like a security house or whatever.
Checking gate. Yeah, they're going into the farm.
I'm pulling on through. I'm like, morning, and they're like, wait, right?
You blew the gate. That's a checkpoint. Okay,
yeah,
that's what they call those.
I'm
just pulling in.
Yeah, so I stop, and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, well, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm heading to the lake. He's like, you're going to the farm. And I was like, what farm? And he's like, anyway. So I had to like back my boat out. That was awkward. That was kind of like sketchy. And then so it reroutes me to a different road. Next thing I know, this road goes from paved to dirt. So I'm going down this dirt road, and I'm thinking to myself, man, this is kind of awkward.
Yeah, this is getting weird now. Where's the lake?
This is getting awkward. And I was like, well, maybe Google Maps knows something I don't, right?
The old shortcut.
All of a sudden, it goes from a dirt road to a grass road with tire tracks going through the grass. And I was like, hold up, man. And I was like, wait, this is gonna. And I was just like, you know what, man? I at this point, I feel like I was so far into it. I was like, let's just see what happens. I've got.
Yeah, you're invested at that point, bud. You got more time to go back than you do where you might end up going forward. Yeah, no, I totally understand.
And listen, I don't know if I didn't have my boat with me. Ryan had his boat. I don't know.
Yeah, you were meeting Ryan on this trip. I remember it. Yeah, you did a whole video on this trip.
Yeah, dude, I end up on the FWC roads is what ends up happening. Right. Like I had no idea. Dude, I like next thing you know, it goes from grass back to gravel. And I was just like, wow, another dirt road. I was like, I think this is anyway. I show up at that lake. They got that gate right there at the ramp.
Right at the entrance, and there you are.
Yeah. So I'm standing at the fucking gate. Oh my God. I look at Ryan, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, bro. I was like, I have to try to backtrack and figure this out. Bro, it got worse. It's like, dude, I was like, all right, I can find my way out of this, right? So I started going back, and I was like, I think I took a left turn here, because like, dude, there's a lot of FWC roads that connect back there. So
there's a lot of stuff. Like if you try to fly the drone back there, you'll see things you didn't know were out there.
You know what's crazy though? I wish they would open those. I wish they would open those for people, man, because let me tell you this. That lake and headwater are actually side by side.
Literally connected with a dirt bridge in between. That's all. It's just
literally
a dirt berm.
There's a FWC road that splits those two lakes, right? Headwaters here, that other lake's here, and they're side by side. I sat there driving through the FWC roads looking at both of them, right? Then and let's say because we did a can't fish camp, me and Ryan, right at the small lake, and we had a shit day. So we were like, dude, screw it, let's go to Headwater. Dude, it's like an hour and some, like it's like an hour away. You know
It
what
is,
I mean?
but it's not.
They're side by side, and
It's
you have
not.
to reroute and then whatever. So next thing you know, I end up over at Stick Marsh behind their gate, and I'm like, I can't get out here either.
And now you can't even get out of there. Now, for
No.
those of you guys that don't know, what he's talking about is literally an intersection where 3 lakes are within 100 feet. I mean, is that an exaggeration to say 100 feet between the 3 lakes where everything comes together?
You literally have Stick Marsh,
But
Headwater, and then the small lake, and behind those is Garcia, right?
there's
So like,
another lake. Literally, guys, we're talking about these things all are within a couple of 100 feet, but not a ramp access to any
so
of.
shout out to Google Maps. I just want to throw that out there. You know what I mean? Like, you never let me down. So the dude, and so
wait, one real quick. Did it ask you if you how helpful was this on your trip?
Nah. So I start heading back, and bro, I started to panic. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I got to a point where I was panicking. I was like, I'm gonna have to call the FWC. I'm gonna have to call somebody because, like,
Absolutely. You better call Oprah. Tom
Oprah,
Cruise, because at this
like,
point things are getting real rough, bro. You're probably thinking, "Whoa, there's no backtracking." And it's funny how Google Maps can't tell you how to go back.
I was about to put out a message on Facebook talking about I might not make it. You know what I mean? Bro, I'm not lying. I started getting nervous, and I was like, I started to Google their number. I started to like I was getting ready, and then like next thing you know, man, I ended up just, dude, I connected to something. Anyway, I ended up at 3 lakes. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, wow. 3 Lakes Conservation Area. You were way up out of nowhere, bro. You went all the way out. Like, that's a county away. It's almost a county away, bro. Like, you drove for a while. Like, this is what I'm saying, guys. It's really funny to watch that story. If you want to check out the channel, it's OM Fishing. I will tell you right now, great adventures. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I'm wrapping up on this, right? So I end up at 3 lakes. Well, guess what? I mean, and this was a hell of a drive. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was on dirt roads for a minute, dude. Like, we're talking 25 minutes of me traveling down dirt roads trying to figure shit out. Maybe even 30, 35.
I was gonna say no, 25's cutting it real short, bud. Because I will tell you that I watched the sun in that whole series of quick shorts that you did, and when it changed positions, I realized you were 45 minutes to an hour out in nowhere.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's
literally in an area that is undrivable. First off, you're not even supposed to be there. Let's start there, guys.
Well, it's drivable. It's questionable in some areas, but it's drivable. But
well, first off, I think it's a felony because you're in FWC territory. That's the scary part about it.
Hey, listen, you can't arrest Google. You can't arrest Google, bro.
Yeah,
So
Google.
anyway,
there's your cover. Right. Yeah, Google did it.
I make it to this 3 lakes. Guess what? I'm behind a gate. Guess what the gate is? Locked.
Like every gate you've run into somehow.
so buddy, but here's the thing though. Like, Headwaters, they have their gate goes down to the actual water, right? And then it's got like a little guardrail that goes into the water.
Yep.
And at that angle, buddy, you're not going to make it around, even if the guardrail wasn't there. You're just going to slip off into the water. And when I made it to Stick Marsh, same thing. There's no way to drive around it, or I would have. Right. So here's the thing. Finally, I make it to 3 lakes.
3 lakes.
Yeah.
45 minutes away of looking down the berm to see where he can drive.
I get lucky though, because they have the gate connected to a guardrail that goes down into it was a dried up little channel, dude. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is hella sketchy.
Overflow. Yep.
Yeah. And overflows, but it's kind of dried up. So I get out of my truck, right? And I'm like, I go down there and start walking through it. And I'm like, damn, this shit's kind of soft, dude. And I was like, but I ain't got no other options right now unless I call FWC, right? So I'm like, well, at this point, what do I got to? So, dude, I locked my shit down in 4-wheel drive, and I just went down into that. Yeah, but it used to be a body of water.
About is an overflow drain. This thing could be 2 foot or 20 foot. Like, there's no telling what he's about to do.
It was probably going down that hill. I would say it's probably 7, maybe 8 tops. You know what I mean?
Max.
Yeah,
At this moment, we hope.
it's a slow roll. You know what I mean? It's a slow roll in the to the bottom. But the thing is like, dude, like obviously there's a guardrail that goes down in it, like water's supposed to be there, just like
Yes,
just like
yes.
dude, I go in that thing, I start going sideways, I'm spitting fucking mud everywhere, and I finally get out of there. I call Ryan, I'm like, man, I am so sorry, dude.
Meanwhile, is he still ramped or did he already roll
dude,
out?
he's still ramped. I was like, bro,
Oh.
I was like, go out, you could go out and go fishing, man. I was like, I just
Yeah,
checked.
it could be a week.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have to reroute. It's gonna take me like another 35, 40 minutes to get back there. No, man, Ryan's such a good guy. Shit happens. I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, maybe you don't need me to tell you this, right? But if you're ever taking Google Maps and you end up on a dirt road and it starts to turn into grass, just go ahead and back out. You know what I mean? Like, even if
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth
I was like, buddy, I was excited. I was like, this is a shortcut.
it. Shortcuts on Google Maps. That's today's lesson, boys and girls. Do not trust the shortcuts on Google Maps.
Yeah.
Well, guys, again, OM Fishing, Outlaw Morgan, first show of the 2023 year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Buddy, my hat's off to you. Let everybody know where you're at. Let them know where they can find you and all that other good stuff.
Okay, so my OnlyFans. No, I'm just playing.
Feet pics and starfish for 25. Alex.
I'm doing feet pics for gas money, boat gas money. So
it ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap. Hey, it's hard out here, bro. You know what I mean? You might catch me at the Blue Diamond on Friday nights.
I tend to frequent some, bookstores.
But seriously, yeah, you can find me at a truck stop, Glory Hole. So
near you.
Behind the 7-Eleven. You can anyway. All right, seriously though. So I've got you can find me by Outlaw Morgan pretty much anywhere. Facebook. I don't really do Twitter. Twitter is kind of like unless you want to endure toxic. Anyway,
it's becoming very inclusive.
Yeah, it's dude, it's like an echo chamber. And I'm not into that shit. Anyway, so Outlaw Morgan on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Outlaw Morgan 2, and then OM Fishing. Yeah, that's my thing. Like my YouTube is OM Fishing USA, and Instagram is OM Fishing FL, and yeah, that's good enough.
It's good enough. Well, guys, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much for coming out. For everybody that was hanging out in the chat, I'm sorry we couldn't be any more engaging. We're trying to keep it more conversational, but allowing you guys in on it, throwing your stuff up there. I appreciate everybody coming out. Welcome to I think it was Gary's Fish Tales that subscribed. I appreciate that, guys. And like I say every time, guys, we're going to do some more of this. This is going to be 2023, so we're in it. Shout out to StreamYard for putting it on. And remember, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. We'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.